All right, before we start, we got to give all praise to the Most High God, Yahweh, to His only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai, who the world calls Jesus Christ ignorantly. Yes, the names matter, right? Learn it fast and get it right. Okay, so we're gonna be talking about Trump. We're gonna talk about news updates. We're gonna be talking about prophecy. Okay, there's a lot of news that has been coming out. A lot of executive orders has been coming out as well. Nobody's challenging him on it. Okay, if you watch some of the previous videos, man, right? The Republicans have the Senate, they got the House, and they got the presidency. And this time around, they're not playing. And we see all those orders coming out, right? Congress do have the ability to challenge it, but you can see just how much of the same bird that both wings truly are, right? We've always said that, right? There's really no lines when it comes to politics. It's just the division of the people and the illusion of choice. Okay, in reality, it's two wings of the same bird. Okay, we see a lot of orders coming out. Nobody's challenging it. We're gonna be talking about some of the things that Trump is doing and how it pertains to us and what we got to be watching for, praying for. Right? Let's just get into it. Right? And I want you to keep this video in mind because this is something that came out maybe a year or two ago, maybe a couple months ago. And we're now trying to secure the border, right? Why is this relevant? Because it doesn't really matter at this point because everyone that's here, everyone that have crossed the border already is already here. Everybody that wanted to, cause harm to Babylon, to America, is already here. Think about it. If you were adversary, would you wait until the person that could potentially hinder all your operations to get in your office to then make your move to try to sneak in over here? No, you would do it while it's lax. You would do it while there's gaps in the security and it's basically free entry. You see what I'm saying? So they made their move and they're already here. Nobody right now is going to be trying to come over, right? But like I said before, they're already here. And look at this video that came out a while ago.
By the way, if you are smart enough, you will know who I am. But you are really not smart enough to know who I am. But soon you're gonna know who I am. Very easy.
Wow, very easy. The entitlement.
No, believe me, I'm much better than that.
The entitlement, guys. Wow.
All right, how do you like those apples? Pretty crazy, right?
I mean, that's basically it, man. I mean, soon you're going to find out just who that guy is. You see what I'm saying? And I mean, they've looked into it, and basically, he is, a major big player in, those big T organizations. You see what I'm saying? So, what does this have to do anything with sending all these troops to the border? Will that help? Will that help to stop the flow of some of these people who want to, cause harm to Babylon? Of course not. Like I said, they're already here. You know what I'm saying? So, this sets the precedence for, basically putting troops on U.S. soil. You see what I'm saying? It's becoming the norm. It's not something that used to be the norm, but again, because of the national emergency powers and stuff of that nature, troops could be stationed within the U.S. soil. Okay, it's not the first time that has happened, but it's becoming the norm. Like I said, right? And we know, according to prophecy, man, there's gonna be um, people fighting against one another, people looting against one another, killing each other, attacking each other, invading each other, stealing each other's goods. There's going to be hyperinflation and war and chaos. And we know that troops is going to play a big part. A man shall want to go to a city and should not be able to. How he's going to do that? Checkpoints, all right? Let's just keep going. Let's see what else is going on. This is American hiker shot by suspected Mexican cartel while on U.S. soil. The U.S. Border Patrol El Centro sector said the victim was shot twice and robbed while hiking in Jamcuba Wilderness in California. Right. So, like I said before, you already know the type of man that Trump is, right? If you remember with the Harlem Five or the Central Park Five, I should say, those boys were innocent. You know what I'm saying? But he was already pushing for the death penalty for them without all the facts coming to fruition. You see what I'm saying? So the same thing like this, Trump is a man who is going to pull the trigger, who is going to come down with an iron fist. You ready? American was killed on U.S. soil by the cartel. You see what I'm saying? He's already designated them as a foreign terrorist organization. You see what I'm saying? So what does that mean? It means a lot of you civilians, when the time does come and things do get kind of out of control, a lot of you civilians are going to be caught in the crosshairs. Like I said, they're sending troops to the border, right? and is armed and dangerous cartels in the region as well. What does that mean for the civilian population there? Right, you're going to be caught in a crossfire. You see what I'm saying? If you look like them, you know what I'm saying. The chances are you're going to be caught up in that as well. You see what I'm saying? That's why we got to stay prayed up, man. Okay, we know the Lord is going to protect those who fear Him. So you got to make sure you're repenting, you're praying, you're fasting, you're doing what you got to do to be pleasing unto the Lord, because we live in evil times. All right, let's keep going. See, so things are ramping up. Right, Vivek Ramaswamy, whatever, however you say his name, steps down from Doge. Right. If you've been following, both Vivek and Elon Musk has been basically appointed by Trump to lead Doge. And what's Doge? The Department of Government Efficiency. Okay, and basically, this new government entity has the capability to cut funding, to cut specific offices within the government. Why is this important? Because you see, Trump himself is consolidating power, right? For lack of better words, he's consolidating power. How is he doing that? All right, he's setting up this particular agency to basically cut out anybody who's possibly going to be a hindrance or disagree with him. You see what I'm saying? That's basically the function of this. Okay, yes, you might they've painted a pretty picture of, right now we're just cutting waste to helping the American people, but you see how he's consolidating power. Anybody that disagrees with him, they're out of the picture. You best believe that. Okay, when with Ramsey stepping down, now Elon Musk has total control, and you could tell, you could probably assume that he was just there as a figurehead. Elon Musk was the ones who was pulling the strings, really. Okay, because if you're following prophecy, I mean, he's the one coming out trying to put microchips in people's head. What does that mean for us, right? The MOTB. You see what I'm saying? So now that he has power, he has authority. It's going, he's basically going to be the one forefronting and spearheading this MOTB initiative. What for what catalyst may come up that allows him to really force that on people? I don't know. It could be another P word. It could be, some kind of outbreak. You see what I'm saying? That kind of enables them to say, like, hey, take this thing. We could keep track of your biometrics. We could keep a track of your health. Do it for the good of humanity, okay? Because we don't know what's going on. We don't know if you're sick. It's unsymptomatic. So take this MOTB, take this chip, so we can keep track of you. Do it for the good of humanity. And if you don't, we gotta get rid of you because we don't know what you got. That's how it plays out in my head. You see what I'm saying? And like I said before, with him being basically on top of the spear of the government, basically, right? Because this government entity is basically on top of all entities, okay? Because they could cut, manipulate, redirect funding from any agency, it seems like. All right, with Vivek stepping down, Elon Musk now has total control, like he probably always had from the beginning. All right, so it's interesting to see how these things are unfolding in these last days. All right, this is everything Trump has done, executive order list. Okay, and I've been scrolling through this, and this is those things that really stand out to me for the most part. You see what I'm saying? And this is what I was just talking about right here. Federal hiring freeze. All right. So now, not only can nobody right now currently be hired to work at the federal government, he's blocking new federal rules and regulations in all agencies where Trump appointed agency chief is not yet on a job to approve new edicts. So it's like, this is very well thought out. All right. So he's saying no federal hiring, nobody new could come in, and not only that, no new federal rules and regulations can be enacted until his person gets in there. You see what I'm saying? Because what people may try to do, like I said before, some of these agencies may not be for Trump. They will try to enact rules and regulations to counteract anything Trump may or may not want to do. So he's basically writing an executive order saying, hey, you can't do nothing until my man is in there. Okay? And like I said, where's Congress? Where's the Senate? Where's the judges? Okay, to kind of fight against these kind of things. But you could see them all picking a side because it's political suicide to go against Trump. He's very popular, with the people. You see what I'm saying? It's political suicide to go against Trump. And not only can he cut your office, via Musk and DOGE, he could basically set the people against you because the people love Trump. All right, but you're going to see his teeth pretty soon, okay? He's already talking about conquest. He's already talking about ruffling feathers. It's not going to be a smooth presidency. All right, he's creating a lot of enemies. All right, we'll kind of go over that at the end here. All right, so he blocks New federal rules and regulations in all agencies with Trump appointed agency chief is not yet on the job. Right. Let's see what else kind of stands out here. Direct reviews across executive branch of career senior executive service officials and effectively make them easy to fire, demote, or resign those federal employees. Generally, the highest ranking civilian service employees whose jobs historically has been protected through administration changes because SES officials wield significant government authority. They must serve at the pleasure of the president, right? Make it easier to fire federal workers by reinstituting an executive order from the first Trump administration, which has later been repealed under Biden. Right. So, like I said before, man, he's consolidating all this power. If you're not on his team, you gotta go. All right. If any particular agency is not on his team, he goes sick Musk on him. All right. And not only that, you can't transition. Like if you're not like in one particular section, right? Because of all the new changes, you can't go anywhere right now because there's a federal hiring freeze, so you're stuck where you are. Okay, not only that, is he's making it easy to fire. Why? If you're not aligning with his vision of what wants to be done. Again, where's Congress? Where's the Senate? Everybody. Trump has total control at this point. He's basically a dictator. Nobody's saying anything, right? That's the things that stand out to me. Um, let's see what else is going on here. Repealed Biden directives intended to make it easier to enroll in Medicaid services, secure insurance coverage under the Affordable Care Act, and lower prescription drug. Trump action, however, does not actually repeal the Biden era 35 monthly cap on insulin. Those policies remain enforced. And, I challenge you to go check this out, man. There's a lot been going on. The thing that stood out to me the most was him consolidating power to himself. Okay? I mean, there's a lot of things going on with nationalism, as you see right here, changing a lot of these names, the Native American names, the Hispanic names, all right, that has been historically always been attributed to those people. He's changing it back to basically, white supremacists, basically, because that's what they were. You see what I'm saying? He's always been about that. Like I said, we talked about the death penalty, and yeah, man, challenge you to go and look at some of these orders that has been coming out. Yeah, Trump executive order resumes execution after Biden dialed them back. All right, we talked about that as well. Right, he's a shoot first, ask questions later type of guy. You see what I'm saying? This is let's see. Trump immigration, domestic deployment. We talked about that as well. How he's going to be allowing his troops to basically roam American streets, man. Okay, and if you remember, not too long ago, the border has been extended 100 miles. Was 100 or 200 miles from the border? So now federal agencies and federal employees can now operate one. I believe it's 100 or 200 miles from the border. All right. And who's not to say that the troops won't be able to operate that way as well? All right. They want to catch these people. All right. They might be on foot. They might be being picked up. So this gives them the leeway. Okay. But like I said before, the American citizens is going to be caught up in that as well. A lot of Hispanic people of Hispanic descent. You see what I'm saying? They're going to be caught up in this. All right. Harassed, bullied. Okay. One fear is that the domestic deployment of active duty troops could lead to bloodshed, given the regular military is mainly trained to shoot at and kill foreign enemies. And like I said, with the cartel killing American citizens, okay, these groups are controlled, by the way. That's gonna like ruffle a lot of feathers as well and keep some of these guys on edge. Okay, and we all know how that's gonna play out. You see what I'm saying? Thinking you saw something that you didn't see. All right, some of these guys are just there because they want to kill people, and I can tell you that for a fact. That's 100% true. You see what I'm saying? It's just going to take one little skirmish, one little false flag attack, all right, to get some skirmishes going on. Next thing you know, it's a whole blown massacre is going on of civilians, all right, who may have weapons, and people think that they're enemy combatants and all these things. You see what I'm saying? Constitutional amendment to allow Trump third term introduced into the House. A Republican House member introduced a resolution to amend the U.S. Constitution to allow President Donald Trump and any other future president to be elected to serve a third term. We don't think we have that long, okay, in these last days, all right? all these prophecies are lining up. We have the MLTB on the table. We have thermonuclear weapons for destruction, okay, for this world to be caught on fire. All right, we got all these things, okay? We got the pestilences line up. We got the famine line up. We got that hyperinflation already on the table, okay? Um, the debt, all right? I mean, once that thing reaches threshing point, I mean, there goes the cost of everything, okay? Bread going to be three, four, $500. All right, we don't have another. I don't believe that. Okay, and I think we're coming to the end in these last days. You see what I'm saying? But you can see they got their people putting stuff out there to allow Trump to run for a third term. We'll see just how far it gets because, like I said, it's like Trump has total control at this point, right? They got the House, they got the Senate. Okay, and the people love Trump so much they might even allow it. Who knows? Okay, and if you go against him, he's gonna call you out. If you're working in a particular agency, guess what? He could cut you out via Musk. So we see what's going on, man. Well, we'll see just how far this gets. I mean, like I said before, going against him, okay, is political suicide for those people who may have reserves about it. You see what I'm saying? So whether or not he gets a third term, I mean, we'll see. I don't think we got that long in this wicked evil kingdom. Okay, there's a lot of death and destruction on the way. Big man BG said 2025. All right, and they'll take it seriously this time. And we're talking about that big P word. See what I'm saying? I mean, we'll see. Right. So, like I said, man, there's a lot going on. Check out the executive orders coming out. There's a lot of fluff. There's a lot of things to make it seem look good, but then there's a lot of serious things as well, like the whole consolidating power type of thing. All right. Let's get into some scriptures. All right. Second Ezra 15:16. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. Right. A man shall desire to go into the city and shall not be able to. That's what we were talking about earlier. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, and the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. So this is coming, man. This is something that's going to happen. You see what I'm saying? We think people made this man out to be some kind of savior, right? But in reality, he's just doing the bidding of the people who are behind him. Okay, because if you were really and truly against the system where he propagates himself to be, you wouldn't be alive. And we've seen that time and time and time again where particular leaders, when they go against the grain, guess what? There's a coup. They're assassinated. You know what I'm saying? So why hasn't that happened, right? Because he's also part of the game. All right. But like I said before, city shall be troubled and houses shall be destroyed and men shall be afraid. Men shall desire to go in the city and should not be able. Okay, martial law, martial lockdown. All right, hyperinflation. These things are on the horizon, and we believe that Trump is the harbinger of these things. Okay, him and Elon Musk and Big Man BG and all their cronies in the background. All right, the wicked of the earth. They got an agenda. They got an NWO agenda. Okay, and you're not a part of it. Okay, so there's gonna be chaos, disruption. And after that, they're going to come with the solution like they always have, all right? It's in Jeremiah chapter 30, all right? For thus says the Lord, we have heard a voice of trembling of fear and not of peace, right? Not of peace. Ask ye now and see whether a man doeth travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins as a woman in travail, and all faces are turned into paleness. Alas, for that day is great, so that there is none like it. It is even a time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. And that's what we're praying and hoping for, man, to be saved out of this thing. For it shall come to pass in that day, said the Lord of hosts, that I will break his yoke from off thy neck and burst thy bonds, and strangers shall no more serve themselves from him. All right, children of Israel. But they shall serve the Lord, Yahweh, their God, and their King David, whom I would raise up. Right? Yeah, man, Jacob's trouble, right? There's going to be a time never before seen in this earth, a lot of death, a lot of chaos, a lot of disruption, but we got to pray and really hope and believe that the Lord is going to save us out of it, right? Therefore, fear not thou, O my servant Jacob, said the Lord Yahweh, neither be dismayed, O Israel, for lo, I will save thee from afar, and thy seed from the land of their captivity. And Jacob shall return and shall be in rest and be quiet, and none shall make them afraid, right? And that's what we're praying and hoping for, man, to get out of here, to be saved from this wicked, evil time, and return back to the land which the Lord promised unto us. All right, let's keep going. This is Joel chapter 3. Okay. For behold, in those days and in that time, I will bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem. I will also gather all nations and bring them in the valley of Jehoshaphat, I will plead with them there for my people, my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations, part of my land. Okay, so all this is because the scattering and death and destruction towards the children of Israel. So he's going to gather all nations because of it. Okay, all these things are happening: the death, the destruction, the chaos, the hyperinflation, unquenchable fire. I mean, that's all coming to the earth. Why? Because for his heritage, Israel, who is scattered among the nations, imparted his land. Right. So that's what's going on, man. All right, and like I said before, man, the wicked elite of this world think they have an agenda, think they have a new order, but the Lord is going to upset them, and they'll have to stand in that time with their enchantments. Okay, all the wickedness and evil that they're doing in the earth to deceive you people. All right, to control the minds of the masses, to think that they have total control, they could use weather manipulation and all these things, and think that they can stand against the Lord. Ultimately, the Lord is going to upset them. You see what I'm saying? So all these things is happening, man. All right, all these Muslim extremists coming over here, which are already here. All these things are in the pipeline. You see what I'm saying? Ultimately resulting in the nations being gathered in the Middle East. Okay, to ultimately be destroyed by the Lord. Right. Revelation 17:16. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. I've always thought to myself, what is Babylon going to do to make her allies really hate her? Okay? The European Union, Australia, some of these other places, all right, people who are confederate with her. What is Babylon going to do to make the nations want to burn her with fire, her own allies? Okay, now we see some of these things occurring with Trump and his executive orders and the mindset of these people who put capitalism above all. Right? They rather make a buck off your sickness, off your illnesses, of bombing civilians and things of that nature. We saw that Trump's teeth when it comes to conquest. All right, when it comes to Greenland, when it comes to Mexico, when it comes to some of these things. I mean, we could see why the nations will be upset. All right. And it goes to show that things are only going to get worse in that regard. You see what I'm saying? Whether it's him directly or people pulling the strings behind him, which is more likely the case, the nations are going to hate Babylon even more to want to destroy her, as we see here in Revelation 17:16. That's the 10 horns, right? Which is basically the European Union, the ten horns of the old Roman Empire that fell. Okay, these nations that risen up after it. It shall hate the whore and make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. So that's coming, man. And that's something that's also coming down the pipeline. You see all, we see all these executive orders. Okay, nobody's challenging them. I mean, we live in an exciting time to see how these things unfold. This is Obadiah chapter 1, right? Starting at verse 4. Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, I will bring thee down, said the Lord. Right? If these came to thee, robbers by night, would they not have stolen till they have enough? If the grape gatherers came to thee, would they not leave some grapes? How are the things searched out? How are the things of Esau searched out? How are the hidden things sought up? All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border, that the men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevail against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in them. All right. So that's what we see is going on. That's what's going to happen. All right. They that were once confederate, they that were once at peace, that they that were once friends have laid a wound under thee. And that's what we're going to see happen in these last days. All right. According to Revelation, those ten horns, right? The European Union, basically. You see what I'm saying? And I mean, depending on Trump's actions, okay, and no pushback from Congress, and no pushback from Senate, and people speaking out against this, okay, him consolidating power to himself, him trying to claim Greenland, and who knows what's coming out the pipeline next, but we know it's going to be some more crazy ass stuff, right? Jeremiah 51:14. The Lord of hosts has sworn by himself, saying, surely I will fill thee with men as with caterpillars, and they shall lift a shout against thee. Who's Lord filling with men? Babylon the Great. He's going to fill Babylon the Great with men, and they shall lift up a shout against thee. And we saw that, man. All right, we saw that with this one. Babylon's being filled with men who's going to lift up a shout against her. Okay, And doesn't matter how many troops you put at the border at this point, they're already here. Okay, it's just a matter of time. Once the war in the Middle East kicks off and picks up some more, once other nations start being gathered, all right. Once America probably gets, not indirectly involved this time, but now directly involved, we should expect, okay, some of these Muslim extremists to kind of take precedence, and take action. You see what I'm saying? Like this guy, he's saying, "You're gonna know who I am soon." I mean, he just stroll on through the border. I mean, this is an exciting time to live in, man. All praise to the Most High God, Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahweh Shai, Ba'asham Kwakudash, right? The Heavenly Father, Yahweh, in the name of His only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. Yes, the name is matter, right? Second Corinthians 15:31, right? And then shall the dragons have the upper hand, remembering their nature, and if they shall turn themselves, conspiring together in great power to persecute them. Right? Who's the dragons, right? The dragons of Arabia, the dragons of the wilderness. They shall remember their nature, their wild nature. How are they wild? Allah Akbar, boom. I mean, that's pretty crazy. You see what I'm saying? So they're gonna remember themselves, man. They're gonna attack Israel. They're gonna attack America. They got all their insurgents out through the land, right, ready to attack critical infrastructure. All these things are happening and ready to happen. And what we gotta do, of course, we gotta keep praying to the Most High God, Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahweh Shai. Yahweh once again be the Most High God, in the name of His Son, Yahweh Shai, right? So that we could abide in His wings, under His feathers. We gotta repent, keep the commandments to the best of our ability, faith in His only begotten Son. All right, so that we could escape these evil times to come, right? Because it's not going to be anything like it have ever in history, all right? Nor will there be again, okay? So we got to pray to escape these times, man. Once again, I pray to the Most High God, Yahweh, and in the name of His Son, Yahweh Shai. Peace be unto you. Shalom.